I'm here with Steven Symes,
Right.
and he just gave this presentation on LibiGel, which is kind of like the women's Viagra, but it's not because you put it on your skin.
Right, acts differently, but ours is LibiGel, which is in phase 3 clinical studies to increase sexual desire and sexual events in menopausal women.
And it's a gel that you would like rub on your arm.
That's correct. Gel is rubbed on the upper arm, and then the skin acts as the depot for 24 hours of delivery of testosterone. This is a testosterone gel. And we've shown in phase 2 clinical studies a dramatic increase in the number of satisfying sexual events.
And so basically the women went from 2.5 per month
Satisfying sexual events.
What's the 0.5?
Well, we can't define the 0.5, but that's on average. So they went from 2 or 3 satisfying sexual events up to 7.5 at the end of the study. That's a clinically meaningful increase in sexual events, as told to us by the women. And so in our phase 3 studies, we're attempting to duplicate phase 2 and show that we can increase sexual desire and sexual activity in these women.
Why is it that you have to give women testosterone to increase their desire?
That's a good question. It turns out that all of us, men and women, have high levels of testosterone. Women, premenopausal women, in fact have less estrogen. That is, they have more testosterone in their blood naturally than they have estrogen. As we age, our testosterone levels go down. In fact, a woman's testosterone levels go down by about 50% to when she's in her 20s, to when she's in her 40s or 50s. So therefore, that decrease is probably what causes the low sexual desire and activity. So this is a picture of the bottle we're using in the clinical studies, and it's a meter dose bottle. And if I can show you, this is the effective dose of LibiGel. And as I mentioned, the gel is on the upper arm, but rubbed into the skin.
Oh, no. So what's going to happen to you if you put it on?
Well, men have a lot of testosterone. However, I will tell you that this is actually a placebo.
Oh, okay.
And so nothing will happen.
So
It smells from alcohol. It's a
Yes.
hydroalcoholic gel. The alcohol evaporates into the air in a few seconds. And then, as I mentioned, the skin acts as the depot for 24 hours of delivery.
and it takes probably like 10 minutes to dry or something?
No, actually, just a couple of minutes. I've used a smaller surface area to do it on the upper arm, but you can see it's already drying. There is no residue. It's not sticky. And so it's a quite nice product to use. You can't take testosterone orally, so that's not an option.
Okay, and you said in terms of the marketplace, this is the only thing that's there?
We believe we'll be first to market for women. As I mentioned, there is nothing approved by the FDA right now. We think we're furthest along in clinical development. We hope to submit our new drug application requesting approval by the end of next year for an approval and a launch in 2012.
Okay, and then how do you actually define sexual dysfunction in women?
Well, actually, it's the women who will define it, but it's women who had what they considered a satisfactory sexual life, sexual activity, sexual desire, and now that sexual desire has declined and the number of satisfying sexual events has declined.
And then these women who are taking part in the study, they have to actually document every day in their diary?
That's correct. In the studies, in the efficacy trials, the women have a daily diary and they report how many events
Now,
they
have
have.
you gone to read the diaries?
Well, we're blinded, so we don't know whether they're on LibiGel or not. The diaries are sent to us every week, so all of the numbers, on a blinded basis, of course, all the numbers are tabulated on an ongoing basis. But in our phase 2 study, as you referenced before, we had a 238% increase in the number of satisfying sexual events. Quite dramatic.
And do you think that this will influence marriages?
Well, we know that sexual relationships have a great deal to do with the happiness of the relationship. And so as we men have had Viagra for over 12 years, women still don't have an FDA-approved option. We think this will help to contribute to the happiness of different relationships.
All right, I'm Boonsy Dickinson with Tech Startups. I've been speaking with Steven Symes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We're a publicly traded company on NASDAQ. Our symbol is BTAX, if any of your viewers would like to take a look at our website.
Okay.
So,
And this
let's
is
go
what
on
you
here.
would do.
And then you would rub it on, but it would be just like this. Cool.
Fortunately, this is placebo.
Feels good, right?
Yep.
That's it. Should
And
dry
I
in a
smell
few
like
minutes.
alcohol.
Well, that'll go in a few seconds.
Hey, it's been on for about 2 minutes now, and it's already dry.
Okay. Do you feel any?
Suddenly, I need to go back into the room with all these men.